It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It's a Tuesday morning. We're live, large and in charge. And thanks for choosing us to start your day off with. Always appreciate it so much. As we get into conversation about awards season and the Critics' Choice Awards, the latest of which has made its way onto our screens. JP Sebastian, of course, here to chat to us about it. Thank you, sir, for being here. The 24th Annual Critics' Choice Awards.
Oh, how did you know?
How important are these awards?
Yeah, there's like so many.
Oh, man, and these awards have been running since November, so I've not been sleeping too much, hence. Last week, obviously, we had the Golden Globes. This Sunday was the Critics' Choice, and how important are they? So what's really interesting about the Critics' Choice is it's one of the youngest awards institutions, but it's got one of the highest strike rates for guessing which will win the Oscars eventually.
Oh, wow.
So
Better than the Golden Globes.
Golden Globes will only make about 50% of prediction reliability. So what wins at the Golden Globes, only about 50% of them will go on to win at the Oscars.
Okay.
Whereas Critics' Choice has a 70% strike rate on average. But I mean, even last year it was something like 17 out of the 19 winners at the Critics' Choice went on to win Oscars. So
quick question, is that because a lot of the people that sit on the board of judges at the Critics' Choice also are part of the Academy?
The Academy's, wow, that monster's a bit larger. That's about 5,000 people who vote at the Academy, and Critics' Choice is only 300 critics.
Okay,
so
that doesn't make a difference at all.
And it's a different industry as well. These would be critics. Academy would be everyone in industry. So if you're cinematography category will be judged by cinematographers. Acting will be judged by actors and directors and everything like that.
Awesome.
Well,
so let's take a look at the best action movie.
Yeah, I wanted to look at some of the categories that we won't get to see at the Oscars.
Okay.
Action, you won't get sci-fi and horror and stuff like that. And a lot of these awards will dodge genre categories. So, can you remember what was your favorite action of last year? You had Avengers Infinity War.
Was it
You had Black Panther.
Of course.
However,
Henry Cavill, I'm sorry. I went
Cavill
for
and-
Mission Impossible.
you loved the bathroom scene, the muscling out. Then you're quite happy that Mission Impossible Fallout won at the Critics' Choice Award. I mean, look at this. The reason why Tom Cruise is so blurry there is because he's actually far away on a helicopter, willing to die for our viewing pleasure.
Gosh.
I loved this movie, the behind the scenes. I mean, the fact that Tom Cruise bruised his foot or fractured his foot and carried on, and then afterwards asked the camera guy, did you catch that? I love the fact that he had to learn how to fly a helicopter.
He didn't have to. No, they offered him a pilot, and the pilot said, I won't do it, you'd have to be insane. And Tom Cruise was like, I'm insane.
Guys, Jackie Chan has been doing his own stunts for years now. Can we get off the Tom Cruise horse?
Hey, he did win an Oscar, by the way, Jackie Chan. That was last year. But they do call Tom Cruise the white man's Jackie Chan, so they gave it up for him.
You're lying. They don't do that.
The best action movie actually went to Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yes, indeed. Then, sorry, JP actually like blue screen for a second.
Yeah, so the other nominees included what am I looking at here? Black Panther,
Infinity War, Deadpool 2, Widows, which no one has seen enough
I
of.
still want to see that one.
Viola Davis, I really do want to see as well.
And then also Ready Player One was also part of that mix.
Don't even bother, really. But like, I mean, I suppose Infinity War is a good competitor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A Black Panther forever. What about sci-fi horror movie?
A shame. So sci-fi horror would be, you had offers. The one that I went wild about was Hereditary, that was nominated. Annihilation was very good, but A Quiet Place was the one that eventually took Critics' Choice Awards. What is that response? Is that just your nervous system?
Because I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet. I don't do well with suspense or sci-fi or horror.
Just the idea of it affected you so much you did this, like subconsciously. No, for real. When I was watching the entire thing, the tendons for running were braced at all times. I was like, I was like a suspension bridge. If you touched me, I'd snap and just leave the cinema violently. But no, what John Krasinski did. I mean, the dude's an actor. We know him from the Office.
I love him in The Office.
You love dearly because he's some sort of just, I don't know, boring nerdy guy or something like that.
But it's husband and wife that played in it.
Yes, and actually Emily Blunt, she recalled at the ceremony, she was like, she said to him, because he was directing and writing and everything like that, and she said, I can't give this movie to anyone else. And she was just zoning out and whatever, and he was like, who are you talking to? She insisted. She said, like, I have to be a part of this movie to make it right.
Let us do talk about Black Panther, though. They walked away with 3 wins: Best Production Design, Best Visual Effects, and Best Costume Design.
I wanted to include them because shame. Like, everyone wants to give some love to Black Panther. Like, shame. Those kids just looked dejected at the Golden Globes, just going Wakanda forever, and then walking away with nothing. Like, but in the Critics' Choice, like you said, three awards. I put specifically up here Ruth Carter for Best Costume Design, Ruth E. Carter, who I think also won for Malcolm X back in the day. But man, the Black Panther costumes were incredible. To fly to different countries to find the right bead It's just insane. And
I wanted to be on that sourcing team. Imagine that.
Oh, shame.
That
We have
research.
go to a scratch patch for like, I don't know, 50,000 air ticket or something like that. But well deserved, totally. Production design, yeah, also very good. Visual effects were a bit rough around the edges as far as I was concerned, but definitely Black Panther for costumes at Critics' Choice Awards, well deserved.
Fantastic stuff. And those are some of the winners at this year's Critics' Choice Awards. We'll see how that pans out when it gets to the Academy Awards a little bit later on. February, isn't it?
24th, yeah,
24th.
thereabouts. But we'll also talk a bit later in the show about the bigger winners at the Critics' Choice Awards.
Excellent stuff. Thanks very much, Ash.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Hey, welcome back. It's a Tuesday morning. We are live, large and in charge on your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, and we continue our chat with JP Sebastian. It's all about the Critics' Choice Awards, yes?
Mm-hmm. And this is obviously in the run-up to the big fish, which is the 24th of February, the Oscars. Then before that, there's still the SAGs. Then before that, there's still the BAFTAs. But hey, let's talk about what happened this Sunday.
Let's do so. Let's do so.
Big winners. So we're going to take a look at the big categories. For example, Best Actor.
Best Actor, obviously, I think a lot of people wanted to see, maybe at the Golden Globes, they wanted to see Bradley Cooper take it for A Star Is Born. However, Christian Bale takes it this time. And you're not sure?
No, I still can't believe the metamorphosis he went through to, you know.
I'm so worried
get
about
into
this man's
character.
kidneys. I
Yeah.
really like these actors are amazing and whatever, but I don't think it's the kind of thing like I want to encourage like young up and coming actors. Don't break your bodies.
Because quickly, that's not makeup, right?
No. He gained 20 kilos, and that was on top of Batman weight. And then Batman came from The Machinist, where he lost 25. So it was 25 Batman weight, and then an extra 20. So this dude we're going to do the biopic of him dying like in the next 2
his
years.
Body, yeah. Like he's dedicated to the thespian craft.
And when you see him like at the award shows, he's like,
Back to normal.
no.
No, he's not.
No, I'm saying no. It's weird. It's wrong that the human body should squash and squeeze like that.
Exactly.
But the dude's an exquisite actor, and I think one of the things that he did that was quite funny at the Critics' Choice, he was like, I think I must thank America for allowing me to stay here, because people on social media were like, what? Christian Bale's not American this whole time? I mean, you must know, right? He's Welsh. We know this.
Of course.
No? Okay.
I didn't know that.
Christian Bale. Hello, like
The
Gareth
Batman.
Bale. He's Welsh.
Yeah, and would not probably make as good a Batman, I'm sure.
All right, so he won for so competing against Bradley Cooper, Willem Dafoe, Ryan Gosling.
You were looking at the name Viggo Mortensen. Obviously, the other big winner that people are looking at there is Green Book. So what's interesting about the Critics' Choice, at
Rami
least,
as
is
well.
that you had the category for Best Actor,
Yep.
but he also took Best Comedic Actor. So
Okay.
Christian Bale walked away with 2 that night.
Wow, congratulations. to him.
Interesting. Let's move on to Best Actress.
Speaking of walking away with 2, so what was
yeah?
so weird about this category, and I don't know if this happens at other award ceremonies, they don't sort of like, the maths means that it doesn't happen in the Oscars, but 2 actresses tied. Glenn Close tied with Lady Gaga, and personally, I feel like, I mean, geez, I don't like the idea of, pitting 2 pieces of art against one another. What do you learn? Like, well done. You compared The Wife, which is a different fish, to like, A Star Is Born, which is a different dog, like entirely. But I'm just saying, like, how do you put them next to each other?
Well, that's probably why they decided to give both ladies the award, because they probably just couldn't decide.
Yeah.
Whereas, like I said, come with the Oscars, if you did end up with a tie, then all these sort of mathematical rules start applying, where they go, okay, now we divide of the lowest person, like that gets split between the 2. But anyway, it's just nice. Glenn Close said it herself. She said, especially in this climate where women should be working together, it's nice to see, actresses not being forced to compete head to head, and they were like pouring praise on one another, and I'm sure that wasn't necessarily to the as much excitement as the rest of the nominees.
I'm very happy that Lady Gaga, I mean, she's won, I mean, she's won Grammys before. I'm just trying to think now of the
Golden Globe,
EGOT.
she won for Best Song, and she won for Best Song in Critics' Choice too. But
So
people were rooting
she's
for her so
making her
strongly.
way to becoming
And
an all-rounder.
Yeah, and she has said after Star Is Born she's still desperate to cling to this new path that she's on. She even wants to start scoring movies as well.
She's just
Brilliant.
super
But she was
multi-talented.
incredible. Yeah, and it really helps if you can see, and the person draws it up from their heart. Is where it comes from.
So let's look at this one, Best Picture, which is obviously one of the biggest that'll come around at the Academy Awards as well. But among the nominees were Black Panther, Black Klansman, The Favourite, First Man, Green Book, If Beale Street Could Talk, Mary Poppins Returns, A Star Is Born, Vice, and Roma.
Such really very good competition there.
Yeah.
If Beale Street, Black Klansman, which was my 3rd favorite, but Roma, which was my favorite of all of last year. In fact, it was at these awards that his friend Guillermo del Toro, that is the friend of Alfonso Cuarón, the director of Roma, who said this is one of the greatest movies he's seen of all time.
Wow.
Del Toro is the guy who did The Shape of Water last year.
Yes.
Previous winner. So this is definitely telltale. I think the Oscars now is starting to go, okay, I think we kind of like are being squashed into a certain lane where we have to make a decision. Roma, I think, walked away with something like 5 awards on that night, including Best Director, Cinematography as well, which is the same guy. So Alfonso Cuarón was behind the camera. He was the director. He was the screenwriter. It was such a labor of love and such a personal thing, and it comes across.
I just wonder whether a movie like Roma is a movie for everyone, because not, you know, it's a nuanced, artistic movie.
Like,
so
I'm not one of these people. I think it's really horrible if you get some stupid, snobbish critics who think, oh, it's because the masses are dumb. No, it's because you're all lazy to read subtitles. Like you know, and the Chinese are lazy to read English subtitles, and the French are lazy to read Spanish subtitles and whatever. So, like, I say it's good to take your steak with your veg. So sometimes you should eat your veg and watch something that's really just moving. I cried deeply for it. It's very
I want to
sad.
watch it
And
just
didn't you
because
give it
you said
11 popcorns out of 10? Like,
As
you
of
were
now,
like so generous with these popcorns.
I'll take that extra one. Seriously, there's a new scale. There's an 11, but only Roma gets to stay in there.
Oh, wow.
So it definitely looks like Roma will be the big sweeper at the Oscars, and it's actually, considering the favorite got like a bunch of nominations and only walked away with 2 that night, it looks like the favorite's been shoved to the side.
You keep saying the favorite as we try and keep it secret. It's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Well, no one seems to be noticing. Bohemian Rhapsody was off the radar as well. Green Book, same thing. I think Green Book's sort of done itself a bit of hurting now that we found out that the writer is still a vehement racist.
Okay, right. So those were the award winners at the recent Critics' Choice Awards, but later on we'll be talking fashion and about who wore it best and who did not with Nick a little bit later on.